Okay. You and the crew here will enjoy this. We have, and Jay unfortunately is a part of this as well.
I'm not amused. Still not.
We have there is a group of individuals. They're called the New Era Podcast.
And that is where John started calling me the mouthy broad, is because they started it first.
And so they've started referring to Jay Birdwells as a mouthy broad. They're like, she just needs to shut up. She's a mouthy broad. And
well, I did stick up for her, didn't I?
Yeah, but you still call me a mouthy broad.
And since
yeah, that's just kind of fun because it's the ticked off look you get on your face.
And since,
it's like a reaction, you know.
And since 40,
I admit it. I have
well, it's
a
like, you know, when
loud
some
mouth.
girl says, she goes, I hate it when people call me a bitch, and the first thing you do is go, bitch, 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 bitch. Like that. That's what I mean, you know.
But he also sits there and makes some kind of comment to make me blush 3 shades of red because it's something to do with sex.
So
I'm sorry, I'm a perv. I don't know. Gosh, take it easy.
They get a hold of us because I had sent a tweet, and of course
with my name in it.
40 knows who this is. That there's this chick. She used to be in WWE, Victoria, and then she was Tara in TNA. She had a sex tape leak. So I sent her a tweet and I said, "You got nothing to be ashamed of with those pictures." Oh my God! They called me everything but They called me a monster. They called me all sorts of things.
It was like
a motherless son.
It was like Jiggy sat there and raped a puppy on the town square or something. They made it sound like that. You know, all he did was say a lady who I've met, and she's a beautiful woman, and she's a tough woman too. And it wasn't a tape, it was pictures, but I mean, she was in Playboy. I mean, it's not like everybody hadn't seen her naked already, you know, but he was just basically saying, you've got nothing to be ashamed of, like, hey, you know, nothing. Yes and no, it was basically saying, you know, you shouldn't worry about it, you know.
So they went after us.
And they twisted it like a liberal Democrat, going like, "Oh, Jiggy sits there and hates people that don't have sex tapes and stuff. Oh God, what a bastard! He doesn't have a mother. He was a test tube baby and never loved and never had a loving woman in his life." And it's like, so me being a sarcastic ass, I kind of ticked him off and kept it going and going.
And then they went after me.
Then they went after me.
Then they went after Jay because she somewhat defended me, and then they started going after everybody else. Well, last week we had David Vidal, the guitarist. He was here, and him and John Mosier did a sing-along and bashed these guys.
Oh my God!
And so
I wasn't here.
We put it
New
up on
Era
YouTube.
Podcast.
So then they got a hold of us. They're like, "We are fascinated by the fact that you still have no idea what you did wrong."
It's not.
I sent a tweet to some chick and said, "You got nice tits." Hey.
Well, that's not what he said. He said you have nothing to be ashamed of. It's not like
Andrew Dice Clay.
It's not like the whole thing I was trying to explain is Jiggy did and say, hey, you know, you have nothing to be ashamed of while I was pleasuring myself to your picture, you know, with the coconut oil and the mood music going and stuff. All he did was say you had nothing to be ashamed of. That's it. And they took it and twisted it and twisted it and twisted it.
If you got it, flawed.
So what's their next? Do you have like a clip of their next bashing us or something?
Well, they went off on me, and they have hey, so they sent a clip. They're going to be sending, I guess, a new clip where they challenge all of us to be on their show.
In person?
They want us to call into their show at some point.
You mean with their whole 3 listeners?
What's funny is that before this all started...
Ouch. Did someone get a Band-Aid for that one?
I didn't... Yeah.
There was 3 degrees.
That was harsh, John.
Well,
I'm going to play good cop. That was harsh.
I know, but the whole thing is they got their 3 listeners because I keep popping off about them. You know, I've like tripled there, you know.
I gave you the 3 listeners.
That's right. I mean, hey. I mean, unless you're using their podcast as a cure for insomnia, I mean, there's not that much left to it.
Well, then after they started doing all this, what's funny is this all started. Me and Jay Izzo were the first people to go after him.
Jay
Izzo. And Jay basically was examining them.
He did? The doctor did?
He examined what they were doing and all these things. They've heard that. They want nothing to do with him because they just fucking ignored Jay Izzo.
When was this last week?
This was like a month ago.
Okay.
They just ignored Jay. They waited for John Mosier to go after him.
I must have been taking a cruise on a tractor or something, because I don't remember that.
That or the coffee thief had something to do with it.
No kidding.
So they just totally ignored Jay. But they waited for Mosier to jump on him, and all of a sudden they're like, we gotta get a piece of him. Kevin Sieg, old Kevin Sieg.
They don't want none of this. I've already made him look like mental. I mean, come on.
What did
And I don't have a master's degree, you know.
Did they even respond to my challenge where I want them to shave their hair and give it to the
Oh no, they got nothing to do with that. They don't care
Well,
about
they have no hair. I mean, except for on their back and their rear end, you know.
enough to write "Marry Me" or something.
I mean, they had like the hair on their back done like the Williams sisters in the early days with the beads and stuff and everything.
Oh, that's harsh.
It's like, you know, their girlfriend has to take the weed whacker to get it on and stuff like that.
So they've been basically going after us.
So anyway, they used to call it the Missing Link podcast.
And anybody who and see, due to the fact you guys are laughing now and are participating.
See, and the reason they called us because
And they're
everybody
gonna
was
come
missing their
back and they're gonna
podcast.
bash
You guys are
each,
next.
every one of
But see, here's the problem with that. We're artists, we're rappers, and we love when people want to do that. That will let us make a little project and but get us out there. Thank you. I can use this for publicity, anyways.
You know what? On that rap that you make, I don't care if you use all the cuss words in the world.
You guys gotta listen to like my kind of freestyle,
And if you guys
kind of
missed out,
like blues
I don't
sounding
like
thing
the
there.
word
So
nigga in my rap, and I don't like a whole lot of rapping or cussing in my rap. So he caught that.
But
So
I mean,
you can just sit there
And
and
adapt.
rap.
once this video goes up on
Adapt.
YouTube, they're gonna be coming after you guys now.
It'll be the worst mistake of their life.
and you guys gotta watch out because they'll call you racist.
Oh my
Last week we were racist.
God.
Well, see,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
a mulatto, so I'm mixed. I can't be racist. I have both.
Come on now,
Both
everybody
of
can
them.
be racist. Don't
Yeah.
exclude yourself. Come on, be part of the group. Jeez.
I'm sorry, racist has nothing to do with color.
And
You can be racist.
what's
without-
funny is we had Derek here, and these guys went off on Derek, and they were like, well, he's
Oh
just the
my
biggest racist we've ever seen.
Well,
I'm like,
he is.
He's the darkest black guy I've ever seen. So I'm like, how's he racist? What's going on? You know, he does that whole impression of being the Prince of Africa, and I'm like, I buy
Welcome back to America.
And
I buy it.
I don't know if you know this, but he uses the word son and boy as a term of endearment, just like I use my lord and my lady. So
It's kind of like when Israel used to say, he would use the term bitch, and he was like, it's just like a term of endearment, like boo or dear.
I was used to being called dumbass
Oh,
as
yeah,
a term of
Derek
endearment
uses
from
the
my
word
parents,
boo,
you know.
too.
Hey, dumbass, get over here, you know.
Like idiot.
Oh, I was used to that one too. They graduated up and
Oh
stuff.
my
so-
God, that was
So Jay Izzo, sitting there on Skype, what kind of terms of endearment have you been, have they called you over the years?
Terms of endearment?
Yes.
We're not talking about the movie with Jack Nicholson and everything. I
That's where I was going with that, John. And I got, you know, I have been called pompous, arrogant. I have been called an ass. I have been called a lot of. I've been pretty much called pretty much about everything you can be called.
and the best one being called was a big mofo.
Yeah, I do get that one a lot. Believe it or not, last night I was at a Greg Allman tribute concert here in Raleigh, and I got that one a lot. I got the you know, the first thing the bartender said to me when I walked up, and he said, yeah, so if you have any problems, where are you sitting? And I said, I'm in the front row.
Okay, another bit of useless.
Wow.
Another bit of useless trivia here, guys. Another bit of useless trivia. I think I'm the only person in the known universe that ever got Greg Allman and most of his bandmates drunk.
Really?
Yeah, I sit there. I was bartending at a hotel bar where they stayed at a Marriott in Wichita. Those guys went through 5 of them went through 4 bottles of Absolute, but I had them hammered by the time they were done. And that's incredible, Craig Allman, because that guy had no liver, you know. So
I would have been dead.
Last time he was in Raleigh, which was a few years ago, he OD'd and couldn't perform.
Oh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, he had already performed. They were just getting ready to leave the next day, so you can't blame anything on me on that part. So.
I'm not blaming you.
Not that time. Not that time. No.
I'm not the culprit on this one. So we're going to be talking to Matt Slayer at the top of the hour. We are hanging out with Jay Izzo. Last Equinox in the building. Yeah. Summer Nights is coming next week. Yeah. We got John Mosier in the building. And, of course, Jaguar Wells. And we were originally today going to have the infamous Michael Game. But
he doesn't know how to get a hold of anybody until hours after the fact.
He didn't get a hold of John until like 5 minutes before John was getting ready to leave Wichita. And he's like, "Nigga, come pick me up." It's like, what? I gotta drive all the way to the other side of town to pick you.
Yeah, you know, when you text somebody at Friday morning, you know, like that, saying, "Hey," and they don't get back to you until like 9 o'clock, like 9 a.m. 48 hours later. It makes it kind of tough on things. And
yeah, it does.
Silly rabbit.
It's kind of a thing. So, and see, Jay Izzo, he called in on Skype, so we don't have to worry about Jay Izzo getting lost in translation. He's here. So, and of course, I've been feuding this week with the New Era podcast on Twitter, and also my personal favorite smear merchant, Miko Hayes.
He hasn't blocked me yet.
So that guy don't like me. Miko Hayes referred to me as the biggest racist in central Kansas a couple years ago. I'm like, wow.
But
how am I racist? That's like Mike Claris from the Rusty Needle was like, you got more black friends than like I know live in this town.
Oh, my kids thought he was black, and they were surprised he was white.
Jiggy kind of was going for this title of the state biggest racist, not just central Kansas. He was pretty hurt that he wasn't, elevated up. So
he said we need a higher ranking.
That's right.
Jiggy does not settle for second best. I'm either going to be the biggest racist or I'm not going to be one at all. So he's not one at all.
Over in the treehouse.
That's right, the treehouse apartment in Salina.
Was that the one across from the correctional facility?
Or across from the correctional facility.
Let the man talk.
Was saying he was the mayor. I kept hearing the mayor all the way on the drive up there, so I was pissed. I was like, this fucking guy ain't no goddamn man. I'm telling this lady I got this shit right away. I walked in and I said, Jiggy, I was like, so where's Jiggy Jaguar? He's like, right here. I was like, oh shit. Like, too late.
So
my kids aren't crazy. You thought the same thing. Okay.
That's good.
Everybody talks about it.
Well, you know what's funny is that and where is Brittany? She's probably gonna get
She's got her
angry. She's probably gonna be angry when I do this, but she used to well, she I'm sure part of the reason why she's with me is because she thought I was a black guy, and then she's like, oh damn it. So we won't get into that here though.
Getting jiggy with it. No.
She thought she was gonna be in a art movie, and then realized, oh no. And see, 40 gets it. 40 gets it. I met those motherfuckers at the AVN. They had a booth space, and I'm like, I gotta go over there.
I got to.
And it's like the biggest stacked black dudes you've ever seen. And I'm like, is this a dog park booth? They're like, goddamn right it is. It was like, you can turn it off. This isn't. You turn it down a little bit. Them guys are big time. Oh, and I met Mandingo. Oh, old fucking Mandingo on the red carpet. He comes through, and I'm like, are you Mandingo? And he goes, yeah. And I go, it's an honor to meet you. And he goes, yeah, it is. So it's a hell of a deal. We met Lexington Steele out there.
He's number one now.
He is number one. He is. And then, let's see, who else did we meet out there? We met Lexington Steele. We met Evan Stone. Of course, Ron Jeremy.
The Hedgehog.
The Hedgehog. Got to meet old, what the hell's her name? The Sarah J. Yes. She's quite the perv magnet, I'll have to say.
Well, that's kind of an oxymoron in the, porn industry. Hey, she's a perv magnet. Hey. That's kind of like saying, like the drug dealer's a meth magnet, I mean, it's kind of, pretty well said there,
Oh my God.
Or small town Kansas is a meth lab capital, or...
Do they have perv magnets out there in your neck of the woods, Jay Izzo? Do they have pervs?
Well, yeah, well...
He's not talking about the sheep.
We sense hesitation there, good sir.
You have to be a little bit more careful in some places than others. I don't know that we call them perv magnets. I know that
He calls, to explain it, he calls me a perv magnet. So basically, anybody who's pretty, any woman who's pretty, are they a perv magnet?
They attract the pervs.
Yes.
That's why I'm here. That's the line. It's always the line.
Okay, hold on here. Now, James, I'm clearly sensing that we've got self-esteem issues that you and I need to work through. Okay? Because not every woman that's attractive is a perv magnet. Okay? I mean, they're just not.
Well, and then there's some women that
maybe,
think they're perv
they're
magnets.
Not. No.
And I'm like, that you have no magneticity or whatever the hell. You nothing. You're not attracting anybody. You're attracting Bruce on the Loose from up there in Salina. Hey, baby.
Bruce on the Loose.
Look up Bruce on the Loose on YouTube, Jay. He's great. He has been quoted as saying one of my favorite lines. I see all these beautiful women, and every time I get a little bit closer, they get a little bit further away. So, he's great. Let's see. We're gonna pull up Matt Slayer here in a few moments. Oh, by the way, Jay Izzo's book is available. Got Social Mediology. We've got how many copies left in studio here?
I think there might be one.
We might have one. Might have to give that to Houston. He might have to go study up.
What are you saying, James? I need to send you some more books?
Well, you don't have to send me any more books. I was just
because I'm already going to steal my own copy of it. So he's just not going to see me put this in my little book bag thing over there.
I just want to know when Jay Izzo's coming to Kansas so he can write my name with the rest of the signature.
Oh, you want me to write? You know what?
I want you to personalize the cover.
Yes.
Just author to author.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I will send James some more books, and I will personally sign one to you in that packet and send that off to you.
I'll have to. If you do that, I'll have to see my sci-fi.
Look at that.
I would love that. Let's do an author to author. I'd love to do that. Matter of fact, James, we've talked about that we could actually do a segment on your show called Author to Author, which might be kind of cool and interesting because it worked out so well with Melissa Francis, and that was pretty cool.